You know, it's often said that you can't eat gold or silver, and that's a given, but you also can't carry a cow around in your pocket. And it's hard to carry an acre of corn around in your pocket. It's hard to carry, you know, all the things we need to barter for and barter with around in our pocket. That's what we use currency for. And that's why in any kind of economic situation, economic collapse, a dollar collapse, or gold and silver are automatically going to be substituted for the currency that we now use, which is paper. Once they figure out that the currency is worthless, they're going to look for something else to use as currency, because there's always going to be something we don't have and that somebody else may have that we're going to want to barter for or with. So, and it's not always feasible. You can't carry a cow in your pocket, like I already said, and you're probably not going to walk one around with you wherever you go to make your transaction. That's what currency's for. That's why if you have silver coins, gold, as has been pointed out before, is going to be hard to break down in smaller transactions. But you get a junk silver dime that's worth about $1.75, $2. I mean, that's easy to make a transaction with. And the silver, that'll find its market value out in the market once it develops. But so yes, you have to store up on food, and you can't eat gold or silver. But there's always going to be something that you don't have that you're going to want to barter for. And and another thing is this: what if you make all these preparations? You're storing, you got your food, you got your farm, you got all this stuff, and you have to move. Now, all the preparations you made to prepare yourself for the worst, you have to leave behind. And you may not want to move. They may move you out, whatever it is, government, National Guard, doesn't matter what it is. But if you have to move, you can only carry so much with you. All that's going to be left behind for somebody else. Gold and silver, on the other hand, you can put in your pocket, in your knapsack, or whatever it is, your car, on the back of your horse if you got one. You can get out of Dodge with your gold and silver. You're not going to be able to carry a month's worth of food, 2 months, 6 months, whatever you have stored in your basement with you on your back. You know, there's a lot of us who have mortgages, and if the worst ever came to worst, we may have to get out of our homes. So, I mean, I guess it would depend where you live. And if you live in the city, I mean, I'd say it would be harder. I think in the city, when government checks start to bounce, when the currency is no good and prices start to go way up, at any given time, there's only about 3 days worth of food on the shelves in the city anyways. And once trucking stops, once transportation stops, and once there's this mass panic, everyone rushing to buy this stuff up, they're not going to be able to keep the stuff on the shelves. So yes, you're going to have some storage in your place. But when all that runs out, you're going to have to go to where the food is. And generally that's in a farming community or where they actually produce the food. So you may have to find yourself on the road. So again, if you live in Kansas City, Chicago, wherever, you live in these big cities, you're not just going to be able to load up all your stuff and bail out, probably. Gold and silver you can keep in your pocket, and you can move on, and you can get yourself to a place where there's markets opening up, where people are bartering already with gold and silver. And I think that's one point you have to keep in mind when you talk about these kind of situations that may develop. And so it's a point well taken. You can't eat the gold and silver, but there's a big advantage to having it in your pocket. And you can let me know what you think, and you can leave a comment below.